of those stocks did end off stage, or at least the one that Percy was able to get. But besides that, though, I think Monexo was looking really strong in a much more flat, elongated stage, Polly. But I think now that we're going to map bans for the second one to go through, I'm curious to see which stage we're going to end up with. And yeah, I think I see what you're going about. Yeah, certain
That's an interesting switch. That's an interesting switch. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's the exact same. Did we see Percy going up DB with that Caspian on the first game? I believe we did.
I believe you're right. I think it may have been Wu Sheng.
I am going to double check. Okay, yeah, that was a different player. No, I was not correct. My apologies, but still. So we're seeing a completely new pick then. That's interesting. Yeah. It's going to be nice to see how they're able to put up with those Qatars, because that's the first time we're seeing them whip out Qatars.
And speaking of that passion too, right? Added a little bit more attacking stats to their abilities here for the Caspian pick. Early on, though, huge string of attacks coming out from Monexo. Beautiful to see, but look at this again. Into the air, Monexo playing directly into it. Orange already against the low defense of Caspian there. Strings attempted to be made, throwing Monexo into the air once more, but a simple dodge gets it out of the way. Monexo, though, already evened up. Keep in mind, it's, I believe, 9 attack for Percy. These sorts of strings have to be the bread and butter, the comfort factor that Percy needs to bring out here for all 3 of these stocks.
Absolutely, I think you're spot on with that. We are looking very even so far. We're seeing the Qatars Ditto, though. First recovery to come out will be from Monexo, getting Percy even deeper into the red, looking for the Sair, not able to find it. Sees that the dodge was wasted, goes for the combo, goes for the Sig follow-up too, but isn't able to find any KOing below. There's the recovery coming out from Monexo. It will be enough to take down Percy, and that is a very small lead, but a lead is still a lead nonetheless.
Absolutely, Polly. Keep in mind, too, a lot of attack, a little bit lower on defense, though, from the previous pick that they had. Monexo, though, still keeping that space. A simple recovery is going to send them into the sky. You're absolutely right. That read was fantastic, but that needs to keep happening over and over again. Early stage control, though, for Percy. No weapon starving. It's Qatar versus Qatar. This can be a difficult mirror mode for Monexo. We haven't seen them go against another Qatar wielder yet.
I'm sorry, I have to talk about that read. I mean,
by all means.
they seriously, after that D-Light, I would have given up. Like, there's no dodge, there's nothing happening. That wasn't like any sort of read other than just purely, I think that they will go inside of me. And then they threw out their second attack. That was beautiful, man.
The back and forth now. Seeing a lot more ground control coming out from Percy. Monexo, though, stuck into the face with a boxing glove, it seems. Oh, but the Sig's not connecting. The side gonna miss. Monexo, though, stuck into the air, goes for the Nair, but look at that. The Sig denied. It's gonna be the weapon throw once more into a recovery. The entire stage is the playground for this Caspian pick. And Polly, we weren't sure in the beginning, but I think this is a fantastic adaptation coming out from Percy.
Absolutely. The Qatars have been working out very well for them, able to find a lot of good hits in quick succession, something that we always talk about when we see the Qatars. It is one of the strong points of Qatars. Still, though, at times struggling to find those openings in the neutral when going up against that sword, and that is actually completely neck and neck now. It's coming down to the absolute wire. Who can take the least amount of damage and who can deal the most?
Absolutely. Qatar versus Qatar once more. The Percy playing a lot more patient. It seems less aerial controls, a lot more of the ground game. Monexo loving to play into this, but they're struggling to find the hits that we've seen in the first matchup. That being said, it's a back and forth once again. The weapon starve is there. We have seen very little sword from Monexo, not even going for the weapon throw to pick it up. It's a back and forth, but the Percy's off the stage, but they can't find the read. Now in a very precarious situation, both of them playing so risky. It's a delayed state to come through, and Percy again going in deep. We've seen how risky this can be, and the Sig again doesn't connect.
Oh. That ground pound could be huge. That could end of them. I mean, they are healthy, but a single really good hit off stage can be all it takes. Building up the damage, Endlight recovery, not enough to KO. Looking for that recovery, it's going to be an N6 instead, beautifully connected. And that's going to be 1-1, and the Percy's redemption arc has been started, and Monexo has to fight back.
But can it continue? Are we going to see Monexo go for maybe a different legend? No. We are going to see the Azuri return, maybe a different playstyle to come by. The Caspian choice, I love it, Polly, but is that going to be a one-hit wonder? We are going to be returning again with the 8 damage Caspian to come by, a little bit less in defense. But again, one thing I want to highlight going into this, again, that was important for the last round, is that only 4 defense is in play.
Absolutely, and being down at those 4 defenses, especially playing against weapons like these, where they will be able to rack up a lot of damage quickly, especially on those Cathars. It is going to be dangerous, and it's going to be difficult as your health starts to melt further and further, quicker and quicker. But it seems to be going fairly alright so far.
It's quiet, or so it seems. Back and forth with light attacks, a lot of aerial play. Early damage, already deep red for Npersi into the air, losing their Katars, the sword there. Great spacing opportunity, stuffing Npersi into a corner. A few hits to come by, but is that enough? No, the hard read denied from Monexo. The neutral game, though, completely denied. The weapon throw to be the final hit into the coffin for the first stock. But there's still 2 more left for Npersi.
I think Monexo, I'm not sure what you call this in English, but I think Monexo just flipped a switch, okay? That's definitely what it's looking like. It looks like Monexo just flipped some form of switch. I don't know what switch it is. I don't know what it does. I don't even know if Monexo knows. But it seems to be working out very well. They have built themselves a full stock lead so far, and they're putting up Anomaly in this game, furthering this lead even more with some quick damage being thrown out on those Katars, already looking for this KO. That's not going to be it. A single more recovery or Sarah should do it, though. Goes for it, isn't able to time it. Npersi just doing everything they can to stay alive, maybe even be able to get a KO out of it as well. But there it comes, the side sig is able to go out from it though. Jesus Christ, this is incredibly neck and neck on this stock.
Impeccable dodging. Monexo again does have the stock lead, but though, as I dodging. Monexo again does have the stock lead, but though, as I say that, not anymore, but there's still a bit of a health lead in Monexo's favor. Npersi, though, good for the confirmation, a hard read, but as I say that too, it all goes back in Monexo's favor again. An entire stock lead now. Npersi, not on the face of death just yet, still has an extra game to play with here, but oh, it's back and forth, no weapons to be seen until the Katars come down, but at what cost? It's the entire stage.
Absolutely, we're seeing such a dominant play from Monexo. Npersi almost not even being able to recover back to stage. We might even be seeing some of those nerves coming out with a missed hard read there as well. Starting to go for a lot of stuff that is not hitting so far. Tries to pull themselves back together, does a fairly good job at it, but takes a Sarah to the face. A single good D-Light, but it's not going to be connecting. They have a second chance. They have to use it as well as they can. They're all the way down in red though. Beautiful dodge. That was close. I held my breath for far too long.
It keeps on going. Still the stock lead. Npersi needs to even this up as soon as possible, but so far off the stage, no chance of recovery. Beautiful work from Monexo to show who really can be the king, but 2-1 now in a best of can be the king, but 2-1 now in a best of 5, Polly. We haven't seen the end of it just yet. Npersi had a fantastic game 2 with their Caspian to bring back all that damage, but now, having been adapted again, I think the word we were looking for was that I think Monexo has gone for a complete download against that Caspian.
Yeah, that could definitely be it, but the terminology I was going to say is Npersi has to find a way to unflip this switch. Now, that could be a new pick, that could be a new weapon, a new playstyle, and a new pick is exactly what we're seeing. And I actually really love this pick. Now, one thing that I do remember now, I'm not too informed when it comes to matchups within Brawlhalla, but I know that every Azuri player hates Spear.
Spear is so good for spacing. The extra damage too added by the Wu Shang pick. It's a bit lower dexterity, but that just promotes a little bit more patient play, a little bit more spacing, something that I feel like Npersi has historically struggled with. But I think this could be a great chance to kind of force themselves into that role where they're not playing aggressive, not going for as many strings, but could have a better chance about controlling the space of the stage and allowing Monexo to be inside their own spiderweb of pain almost.
Yeah. This could also just be a complete switch of gameplay, of playstyle here. Like we mentioned, being driven by passion quite a bit. Going for a pick like Caspian, you've got 2 weapons that are incredibly good at getting quick follow-up. Switching to a weapon like Spear could be their way of forcing themselves, let's not play like this. I'm gonna calculate my moves. Maybe not, though. Still gonna have those gauntlets to rely on that game plan. And it seems to be working out fairly well so far. Maybe just needed the legend switch for the mental reset.
Maybe so. Mental reset, definitely powerful. Stage control, let alone in-air ground control as well. Major Tom, nowhere to be seen. It's going to be the Nair to come by to create some spacey, but Monexo again, not as many opportunities to go in for some safe plays. It's the weapon throw to come by. The spear is so long, it creates so much space even when thrown. Monexo already struggling. The double down air down light to come by into the Sair. Look at that, the
Jesus
ground pound to come by.
Christ.
Monexo.
Beautiful.
Polly never had a chance to get back on.
That was absolutely beautiful. I mean, Percy absolutely popping off on that spear, definitely feeling very comfortable. Got all of that all out of a single read, though. That's one important factor. If they're able to keep finding these reads, that could be a game changer for them. But we've seen them be able to do a lot of good reads on the gauntlets. So definitely has that ability as a player to find good reads, and apparently against Monexo as well. But a D-Sig to the base is going to be them taken down, and they're now given a completely new chance to go into this race again, repeat the cycle, try to take him down, but it's going to be tough. Monexo is putting up such a good fight right now.
Such a good fight. That spear returns, though, from the Percy. That space needed to be created. Monexo has shown over and over really good at adaptation, but so far it looks like that may be the case. The Percy doesn't have a space to really start their groundwork on. They need that base, that anchor to start everything off of. Monexo's biding their time, waiting for the opportunity for the Percy to make a mistake, and mistakes are found. Orange and orange between the two. The gauntlets return again, and they're playing directly now into Monexo's playbook. These gauntlets have been a struggle, even if it's the bread and butter for the Percy. Monexo has had the strength, the upper edge above this entire time, but now it's gone down to a simmer between the two. Hits back and forth, sure, racking up that damage, red to red. No confirmation of the hits just yet, but out of nowhere, the recovery comes by, and that gauntlets reign supreme once more.
Yeah, Monexo knew that was over when he missed that GC. That's definitely one of the things you've got to be looking out for, especially against a weapon like the spear. If you fail one of those GCs, that's going to be a lot of damage being added onto you. And oh man, we're actually seeing some really phenomenal work on the unarmed now from Percy as well, switching over to it again, only for their stock to be taken down. We are seeing a very small lead that could very well be taken away, if not overcome, with Katars incredibly quickly.
We talked about how Percy could be a lower bracket demon, and we're seeing it right now. Unleash the beast, Percy. You can do it, but Monexo too has been this absolute warrior. He able to stay calm, cool, and collected. Weapon starved though. Percy struggling to find that sword into the ground. Needs to pick up their next weapon, but again, the strings to come by. Monexo is going to steal it instead. The Katars come back, and this has been the struggle for Percy. Trying to stay away. The blades of death, it seems. The gauntlets do come by once again, playing now directly into the gauntlets, going for the hard reads against Monexo, Polly. Oh, but it's already deep red. Percy
Everything's falling apart.
Exactly. Good for one game so far. But the recovery, there's just the tip of it though, connecting.
Has to keep fighting, has to find these options. Monexo incredibly close to taking them down. A single good combo or two on that sword gets this, gets the Nair, gets the Sair into the weapon throw, misjudges where they're going to be going, tries to go for the Sig, but gets punished for it. Still not giving up. Percy passionately going back into this game, trying to find the hits, misses the weapon throw, takes a weapon throw on its own, and the Sair will be enough to close out not only the game, but also the entire set with an amazing performance from Monexo, a 3-1.
Beautiful to be seen. Absolutely beautiful. Holy. So, from there, great work, Monexo, the king of adaptability, it seems. I really enjoyed watching that matchup, Polly. I am at loss for words. I like the Wu Shang pick. I thought it was such a great idea. The Caspian 2 that we had seen, but it just was too little too late, and the gauntlets were so easily read by Monexo.
Absolutely. Monexo absolutely beautifully played, putting up a really good fight. Percy, unfortunately, like we mentioned, every single tournament, someone always has to lose, and unfortunately this time it will be Percy going 0-2. There's still next year, and there's going to be the next year after that, and Percy has definitely given everyone good reasons to why they should remember his name.
Absolutely. And that's it for us. We are the first set of casters of this amazing stream, and there's plenty of other casters to come. But don't worry, there are still much more amazing matches to come by. My name's Keg. You can follow me on Twitter at KegShouts. And Polly, your socials, I believe, are just Polyomento as well. There it is down below. Hello.
Not Polyamonto.
My bad. I tried.
Not Coslix
I know the
either.
Poly part.
It's not Coslix either, by the way, for the record. It's not Coslix either.
Okay,
I don't know
sure.
if you know the meme, Keg. I don't know if you know the Keg. Everyone says I look like
don't.
Coslix. They call me EU Coslix. It's turned into a thing. Everyone just calls me EU Cos. Don't worry about it, basically.
I'm with it.
I should not have told you this. Now you're also gonna do. Thank you guys for watching. It's been great. Make sure to give the other casters a bunch of love. Go cheer for your favorite players. I've been Polly. This has been Keg, and we will be seeing you the next time.